This is former President Richard Nixon. You know, I enjoyed seeing that stamp with the picture of George Washington on it. You know, they made a stamp with my picture on it. I took a licking for 4 years.
This is Orson Welles. I can't come out and say that I liked that dessert because I work for a wine company and I will serve no torta before the porta. Hell, I just can't afford to.
Yes, this is Rex Harrison. You know, in a skid, those drivers could stop on a dime, but not anymore. Yes, since inflation, they now stop on a quarter. On the street where you live.
This is W.C. Fields. Yes, I love fish, love. I think my favorite is pickled herring. How he got pickled, though, I'll never know. I thought fish only drank water.
This is Kirk Douglas. And in the movie, I played Doc Holliday. And Doc Holliday was a dentist. And if he didn't drill you full of lead, he would shoot you full of Novocaine. This is Ricardo Montalban. You know, I used to race armadillos on my ranch in Mexico, but I had to give it up. It was too hard to find a jockey whose legs were short enough. Isn't that true, Tattoo? The plane, boss, the plane. I think it was a plane. This is how it goes out. 14 coat hangers. That is a remarkable feat. Or I mean, throat. And a hard act to follow. I mean, swallow. I hear his next trick will be 14 coats, pants, and hangers.
This is Foster Brooks. There seems to be a flaw. There's no booze.
As Don Rickles would say. Hey, Rich, do you know why that fellow baked you into a cake? Because he thought you were crummy. Is he laughing? Is he coming towards me?
You know, the last time I danced the samba in Rio, I was so hot my pants caught fire. 3rd degree George Burns.
Oh, this is Dean Martin. You know that Denise Bellman is my favorite performer. Of course, I'm kind of prejudiced because I like anything on ice. I'm glad when I became a man, I didn't have to hang by my toes, or I never would have become one. This is Liberace. Gee, wasn't that awful? I just hate to see a piano undressed. No candelabra. Oh, this is Dean Martin. You know, those new light bulbs are amazing. Yeah, I screwed a light bulb in last week, and I was lit up for a week. This is Alfred Hitchcock speaking. Mad dogs and Englishmen go out in the noonday sun. When I did a film called The Birds, apparently a group of Englishmen at Bognor Regis suffered a heat stroke while watching my film. And now they think they can fly like birds. Hi there, fun seekers. Johnny Winter's here. You know, my uncle, William Suggins, almost won that contest that year. I remember we took him up to Willowdale Bluff and Scotch taped 250 pigeons to his arms. He took a run and was almost airborne, and some dumb kid threw some popcorn in a rock quarry and he bashed his brains out.
This is George Burns. You know, Rich Little had an uncle. Used to do an act just like that. Matter of fact, I worked with him in vaudeville. He was known as Lucky Little. And one day the rope broke, and then he was known as Little Little. Then there was Little Little here, and then Little Little there, and Little Little everywhere. After that, his other uncle refused to do it. He was known as Chicken Little.
This is Burt Lancaster. When I was a kid, my mother told me never to go near the water. But I used to practice water skiing on my bare hands. Ha 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 ha. Until she caught me red-handed. Ha 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 ha.
Folks, this is Walter Brennan. We'll go anywhere to bring you the story that you want to see. Whether it's lions in Africa, penguins in the Arctic, or gators in Okefenokee Swamp. Just write to us.
Confound it!
I can't stick around to give you the address because I got trouble out there in the barn. The hens are laying for me. No, it wasn't worth it. Now here's Rich Little with the address.
This is Carol Channing. Rosie, when I said diamonds are a girl's best friend, I didn't mean baseball diamonds.
This is General George Patton. That's the way to have a war. It lasts for one day. They use blanks and everybody ends up dancing in the streets. The only problem is...
Hey, what do the generals do? This is Kurt Douglas. You ask for it, keeps bragging. They'll go anywhere to bring you an unusual story. Well, if that's true, why haven't they examined my dimple? Now, if you know of any unusual person, thing or place like my dimple, write to You Asked For It, P.O. Box 1980, Hollywood, California, 90028.
Hey, this is Charles Bronson. That guy was great. No expression, no movement, no personality. He could be as big a star as I am.
You know, we get a lot of letters, and people ask me who my best impression is. It used to be Jack Benny. And for years, I used to think that was the funniest one I did, until Jack one day said to me, "Listen, Rich, the only reason people laugh at your Jack Benny is you're a Canadian, and you say, 'Now cut that oot.' That's why they laugh." Anyway, that's our show for tonight. See you next time on... Thank you.